Thank you for joining me today. I am going to be going over some of the frequently asked questions that buyers and sellers have for real estate agents. Two of the questions that buyers typically have are how much money they're going to need to purchase a home and what is a credit score that's going to be required for them to qualify for a mortgage. Sellers are always curious about how we actually come up with the price to list their home at. I hope that the information that I shared today is going to be helpful to you. So one of the biggest questions that buyers typically have is how much money you actually need to purchase a home. There are so many different expenses that are associated with the purchase of a home, and the numbers will get overwhelming. It can be very intimidating. On top of that, you have friends and family who have very different home buying experiences, where you have one person that says, oh, I only bought $5,000 to the table, or only had to come out of my pocket was $2,000. And you may have someone else that says, oh, well, I had to pay $30,000. And so it does range, but all of the different costs that are associated with purchasing a home are typically the same. So when you are purchasing a home, you have to pay for an inspection, you have to get an appraisal done. Immediately, you have to produce what's called an earnest money deposit, which is also called an EMD. That is basically your deposit and the way that you show the sellers that you are a serious buyer, and that you can go through the contract and see the contract through, because you have money that you're saying, hey, well, I'm guaranteeing that I'm going to close. Here's some money up front just to back that up. And then you have your down payment that you have to pay, as well as your closing costs. So starting with the EMD, once you actually get a contract accepted, it is required that you put down your earnest money deposit. That money is held in what's called an escrow account, and it is typically 1% of your offer price. So this is your first major expense that you're going to have, which is to put down at least 1% of whatever you're offering. So if you are going to offer $300,000 on a home, as soon as your offer gets accepted, it is expected that you are producing $3,000 to go into an escrow account to seal the deal. And so the good thing about your EMD is that it goes towards your closing costs at the end of the transaction. So it's just money that you're just paying up front. So it comes in handy in the end. The next two expenses that you'll have is your appraisal and your inspection. I typically will tell my buyers to prepare to pay $800 to $1,200 for their appraisal and their inspection. So those are upfront costs that you're going to have. As soon as you pay your EMD, you are going to get your inspection completed. After your inspection is completed, then you get an appraisal so that the lender knows what the actual value of the home is. So when you get your inspection done, you can expect for your inspection to cost between $325 and $695. It does depend on the area, the size of the home, but those are the typical price ranges. There are additional costs associated with getting a home inspection. If you want to get a radon testing, pest inspections, those are additional costs. Depending on the home that you're actually purchasing, there may be a septic or well tank inspections that you have to get. And so those are also additional costs. And so after you get your inspection done, everything's good. Then next you're going to move forward with getting the appraisal done. So this is so that the bank knows the value of the home. Your down payment is going to depend on the type of loan that you qualified for. The three most common loans are going to be an FHA loan, a VA loan, or a conventional loan. With a FHA loan, which stands for Federal Housing Administration, the minimum required down payment is going to be 3.5% of the purchase price. FHA loans are also U.S. government-backed loans. You then have a VA loan, which is Veteran Affairs Loan. It is for eligible veterans, and there is 0% down. So you will be able to move into your home with a 0% down payment, and this loan is U.S. government backed. With conventional loans, it comes in so many different ways, and so it's could be a 0 down all the way up to 20% required minimum down.